Welcome to this edition of absolutely no series whatsoever. I'm just making these as I feel the urge to do so, and this urge is brought to you by Astrox Imperium. This is a game I accidentally found on Steam last night. It's currently in early access as of May 15th, 2020. The developer claims that he is aiming for a May 2020 release, so hopefully he's on schedule, and hopefully we'll enter release candidate very soon. Still, for $15 in early access, you can get a pretty good game. What kind of game is this? Well, I'm going to show it to you. And if you've read my blog post, you probably already know. You may recognize this game under a different name. I've already started, so we're going to jump right into the existing campaign. We're going to continue. So here we're going to select our character in the finest 1980s hair I could find. This is my avatar. Been playing for about an hour and 17 minutes. So what exactly do you do in Astrox Imperium? Well, you get a ship. You can mine. You can trade, free trading. You can go ahead and do take missions. But basically, this may be triggering some memories for some of you. This is my ship. I am currently docked at this station here. And if it's bringing back some EVE Online vibes, you are not wrong. This game is really close. I'm not going to say clone, but it's really close to EVE Online. Minus the online part. So we could call this EVE Offline, because I'm sure nobody's made that joke, and it's not the second time I've made it today. So you get a ship, and you basically have kind of sort of the same interface as EVE, with a lot of similarities. We have our ship stats down here. We've got our cargo of our ship right here. This is our system nav or main menu. This is our station services. We have a lot of the same station services that we would find in EVE Online, including the Refinery, the Shipyard. You can get a mission board. We've got the garage where you can modify your ship, Fabricator for creation. You've got a storage location on the station, and of course the market that you can buy and sell items. Now, interesting thing about this is what happens to EVE Online when you take away the online part. A lot of what makes EVE Online popular is that online part because of all of the drama and the player versus player intrigue that goes on. So how much of this game is left now, I guess, when we have a version that doesn't have the online parts? So I guess we're going to take a look. Miner. So essentially this ship is kind of outfitted for mining, and we can see that by going over to the garage. Here in my cargo space I have an active scanner. I've got a single 20mm gun and some ammo, which I looted off of a mission objective, and I have generic light miners. I currently am equipped with generic light laser ×2 and a basic thruster. Equipping and unequipping is as simple as just dragging and dropping. So we're going to drag one of those there and one of those there. I'm not exactly sure what this one, I think this is, not exactly sure what the 1 and 2 means. I think maybe that's the maximum class I can put on there. Maybe, I don't know. This is the stats for our ship, as well as the stats for our ship up here. So we have 2 active slots, 1 passive slot. This is the passive slot here for the thruster. We are currently using 94 out of 310 units of cargo, I guess. Shield, armor, energy, and support. We no longer have hull, we have armor. We only have 2 layers here as opposed to in EVE where we have potentially 3, shield, armor, and hull. We do have energy. Same as in EVE, you can replenish your energy by docking. However, apparently your energy does not regenerate out in space unless you're close to an energy generating source, which is not something I've actually run into yet, but that's what the tutorial tells me, so there we go. You can spin around your ship. These are a little bit low fidelity compared to the ones in Eve, especially if you zoom out a little bit, but that's okay. I'm fine with that personally. We have an interesting mechanic in Astrox Imperium here called life support. And we can take a look at that here by clicking the life support button. Now, life support allows you to die in space from doing absolutely nothing. Your life support determines how long you can spend out in the void. You've got 4 main sections that you have to be concerned about: food, water, thermal regulation, and waste management. By default, you've got nothing in these slots. However, giving you a new ship, they do start you out with some basic food and water items. You just take them out of your cargo, you just drag them, drop them into the squares. The better the equipment you have here and the more slots you fill, the longer you can spend out in the void. So if you look down here in the corner, you'll see that this red bar here indicates our life support. And it currently says no hazard, meaning with my current loadout, I'm in no danger of dying. I have enough food, water, thermal control, and waste management to last me however long I plan on spending out there. But if I were missing one of these, this may actually show up in terms of minutes, how long I can spend out there. I think with absolutely nothing in there, this ship I could last for about 15 minutes, which means I can travel around in space, but after 15 minutes, I either start to die or I die. I'm not sure. I haven't gotten that far. We'll find out. This is important because in certain cases, this thermal regulator, for example, is good. It's not fantastic. If I get too far from a star, for example, things start to get colder, and my thermal controller may not be able to heat my ship well enough, and I may actually start to feel the detrimental effects of space. And in an unpleasant turn, the only waste management item that I could find is essentially diapers. So yes, it's EVE Online with diapers. Let's move on. We also have other things like the lounge. This is where you can get information, you can get news. I'm not sure how much this plays into the actual game, but we can actually get some information about it. I like in this kind of sort of, if you've played Elite Dangerous, you get a news feed updating with kind of galactic information. And again, I'm not really sure how much this plays into the actual overall game or if it's just flavor. You can hire mercenaries because you can run a fleet. As this is a solo game, these, take the place of other players who are on your side. They come with their own ship, apparently, and that's kind of cool. Entertainment, again, I'm not really sure what this has to do with anything. Oh, we can purchase entertainment. We get a morale boost. This is probably more to do with the crew than anything else. You'll notice that these avatars, these are generated based on a bunch of templates. There's several faces you could choose, several different face accessories you could choose, including hair. You can see the Karen on this guy here. You can be male or female. They have different nationalities and things that you can choose from. So this guy's got a more normal hair. So you can create a custom avatar for yourself. Refinery, I've played with this earlier, and after mining and some rocks, you can drag it in here to the refinery, and I think what it does is it breaks it down. So it broke it down to some constituent parts. I had some basic ore, it broke it down to water, hydrogen, and carbon. So essentially, as you can see here, I did take this atomite ore at a total cost of 247 credits. I broke it down at the Biomate University. It took 5 minutes, and I processed 215 units. So that essentially broke it down to its core constituent parts, and I stored them. I could turn around and sell them. I could turn around and use them to build something else. You also have the option to export directly to storage when complete. As in Eve, and I'm going to say that a lot, what you're looking at here is a per location system. So what I store here is inaccessible when I'm at somewhere else. As you can see, I have station storage down here. You get a certain amount of basic storage at every station. You have the ability to expand that by spending your credits. So when we're done that, skill training here at the university. Now, supposedly there's over 250 skills. I was a little confused because I was trying to train a particular skill at another location, and it said that I couldn't because I needed a prerequisite. So I looked through the show all, and I couldn't find that prerequisite. So I'm like, well, am I missing something? Is something broken? But again, like the other game, you have to essentially seek out a particular skill in order to be able to train that. So at this particular station, I have the option to train the following skills, which have everything to do with mining, excavation, cargo, and building structures, because you can build your own bases, which is kind of cool. Here, this is the Starbase Corporate Center. When I was over at the Biomate University, they had a totally different other set of skills, such as being able to pilot new ships, being able to better pilot your current ship, and so on. So it's more, that station is more geared towards new players because that's where they start you, but it doesn't give you the full range of everything. Shipyard is where you buy new ships. You can get yourself a shuttle. Again, just like Eve. Smallest, cheapest, probably quickest, most low rent means of transportation between two locations. Each of these obviously will tell you whether you can or cannot pilot. You do not have the required skills to pilot this utility craft, which is fine. I can't afford it anyway. We are talking 2,542,248 credits to my 109,000. So it gives you relevant stats over here. You get your actives and passives, as well as cargo and some other interesting information. You've got your base stats over here. We don't get the flavor text like we do in Eve, which is kind of disappointing, but you know, I'm not looking a gift horse in the mouth. Again, this was being built by one person, so I am suitably impressed. Missions you can take. They run the gamut from escort to scanning to go here, collect that, to mine stuff. They are offered by different factions. This is the Missionary faction, the Temple faction, Pirate, Civil, and Alpha factions. You get payout. You get a certain amount of time. They do take an escrow for a lot of these. Insurance deposit. This one's none required. They give you the rundown, how much time you have left, how much money you're going to make, and you do usually get faction standing as well as personal XP. Personal XP counts towards gaining skill points, I guess. So that's kind of that. Undock obviously kicks us out of the station. So over here we have the market, and this is the market for this particular station. You can, of course, buy and sell items here. Interesting thing that even though it's a single-player game, they do phrase the terms buy orders and sell orders. In Eve, of course, when you want to buy something, you put in a buy order, and another player must generally provide it. So you list the amount you're willing to pay for it, and if someone is willing to accept that, they will fill your buy order. Same thing with a sell order. You're putting it up there saying, I want this price for it. If someone agrees to buy it for that price, then they get it. Otherwise, it sits there and rots. As this is a single player game, that's kind of weird phrasing, but it's you know, it is what it is. So you can buy all of your items here, which includes things like your minerals and materials. You can get, these are resources here. They call these materials. When I broke down my ore, I got hydrogen. So I could obviously put it into my hold and I could shop it around for the best price. I don't see any, oh, here we go. Market economy, supply and demand. So that's pretty cool. I'm not sure what range this is at. Is this just this station? Base price? Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, because, oh, sorry, nitrogen. Yep, nitrogen here. It's out of stock, so it's in demand. 9.89 credits per. That's pretty cool. So this is a quick look at what they're selling, what they want, so on and so forth. So we can get, let's see, component items are things for either our ship or are used in construction. Active modules. These are your weapons, missile launchers, tractor beams, mining items, and so on. Passive modules. Ammo, for things that require ammo. Support items. As previously mentioned, talking about life support, these are items that have advanced uses. So you can buy the advanced filter, and this is class water. So we would buy this and upgrade the version that we have currently in our life support system with this, and we would get a much better percentage. This is 30%. I'm not really sure what I have currently, but it's pretty poor. Waste processor. See, if I didn't want to wear diapers, I could actually get the 20% to waste life support and my dignity back. Trade goods. These are just things you buy and sell. Documents. I have absolutely no idea. Oh, blueprints. Yeah. Okay, so we got blueprints here. Fuel specs. 4 million credits. Okay, so that's advanced warp drive fuel. And usable items, so a generic construction platform for when we go out and decide to build a base. So the garage we've already looked at. Storage, of course, is a per station storage space. We get basic storage space here. We get 5,375 units at this station. At the home station, I had something like, I don't know, 12 or 16,000, so that was nice. We can lease additional space for a fee, which is probably an ongoing fee. Fabricator. This is where we take those blueprints that we could either buy or find, and we can throw in some materials and spit out a finished good. I have not yet dealt with this system, so I have absolutely no idea how this works, whether you can load it up and set the number of runs or what, but as this is a single-player game, of course, the best thing you can do is to craft stuff for yourself or to make something better to sell. Offices. Offices in this particular game give you tutorials. This is the, let's see, tutorial office. Let's see. Yep, most of the tutorials pop up just like this. And you could say, you know, tell me about the basic interface, which is pretty much runs through all of this stuff that I've just basically run through for you. COM number, I don't know how this works. I don't know what COM number is or where to find it. This may be a case where you're given information and you get to input it here. And we get the map. Now the map is currently limited to what I know, I believe, since here in Void Starcross, I only have jump gates to these particular locations. I assume that as I move through the system, I will unlock more of the universe. We can go into 3D mode, which allows us to get a better, sense of what's where. So I'm assuming that it's not going to all be just flat 2D at some point, maybe. We get to see which factions control which systems. We can look at security. Now, just like in EVE, security matters. We start at a most secure, which I believe is a factor of 10, down to the least secure, which is a value of 1. All right, so that's the basic station services interface. Now, we do have a couple other things to look at. We've got, obviously, our cargo bay, which is all the items that are in our cargo. We can filter items if we want, and it tells us how much we're using and how much we have. System nav gives us information such as we can get our galaxy map back here. There's something called the GPS, which I'm not exactly sure what that does, and we can add a GPS bookmark. That's okay. I suppose those two work together. If you're in a particular sector of space and you want to add a bookmark, you can go ahead and drop it. So if you find a particularly large, lucrative asteroid that you want to mine, you can bookmark it, fill your hold, go, come back, and toggle this GPS. We also have the main menu. Okay, down here we have ship stats. We have our shields, armor, energy, life support, and speed. Right now we're not going anywhere, so speed is 0. We do have a couple other items that we can hover over here, so we can toggle the pilot overview panel, which is me and my 1980s hair. These are all my skills and my current levels. Factions, here we go. I am a member of the trade faction, right? So here's where I am. I'm friendly. Pretty much everybody else should be neutral. That's cool. I have no missions. I've earned some medals. These are like achievements. These are my assets. It tells you what is where. So here in Void Starcross at Biomate University, I've got water, carbon, and hydrogen. Stats for people who like numbers. Fleet, I don't have any. Passkeys, I'm going to guess these are for particular jump gates in system. Guessing. Ship overview panel. This is my ship. So we do have the name, some high-level stats, a little bit of flavor text, what we've currently got equipped, and all of our hard numbers. This is a lot of the same information that we get over here in the garage, right? Okay. But we can access this when we're out in the world. Life support panel we've already looked at. Afterburner allows us to move a little bit faster when we're flying around. Toggle the active mission HUD, which simply pops up this window. I'm kind of annoyed that when you start and when you dock and undock, these windows go away. I really wish they could. I don't know if they can be pinned or not. I would like them to be pinned. And then we toggle the journal, and this is information based on what I've done thus far. So here at the station, this gives information on the station, as well as here's some information on the market, what they're selling and stuff. This is what they're offering in terms of classes, I guess, skills that you can get. And here's all the services that they offer. Places that you've visited are listed here. Structures, I don't have any. Resources, don't have any. Ships, don't have any. And there's nothing under miscellaneous. So enough gabbing, let's get the hell out of the station and go see what the outside looks like. So it's very much, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your point of view, like Eve. This is where I just undocked from, this station right here. This is the current location here in Starcross Void, or whatever the hell it's called. There's a lot of different things going on here. This is this is where I started. You click on items here, and basically you'll start scanning them. If you've scanned them before, it remembers that, so you don't have to spend time. Otherwise, if you click on something, you will start getting a timer as your scanner goes ahead and starts trying to figure out what this is. Now, the closer something is, and I think the smaller something is, the faster it goes. The better your scanner, the faster it goes. Now it's a public energy generator. I will know this forever, so that's cool. As you can see, again, the bulk of the interface has gone. We do have a little bit something new, however. We do have this down here at the bottom. And again, if you're familiar with Eve, this is going to be pretty old hat. We do have the ability to open all panels, so we're going to do that. All modules lock target, so if we do have a particular target, I guess we can lock them all on one target. This will turn all modules on or turn them all off if they're active modules. Some of them, I suppose, we do have probably active modules that require us to turn them on in order to use them. Obviously, we have mining lasers. Your weapons, they turn on when you decide to shoot something. If you have another active module that does something else when you're not in combat, you can probably turn it on. Shield booster, for example, might be one of those things. You can close all the panels if you want to get the real estate back, and you can toggle friendly fire, meaning I guess you can shoot at quote-unquote NPCs who are friendly to you. You activate these just by clicking on them. So when they're on, you will see the little circle going around to show you that they're active. And it doesn't look like any of the rest of this is clickable. So we're just going to move on. Over here, we've got our autopilot. we can actually go. Let's find ourselves a rock or something that's close to us. Maximum targets reached. Yes. So we have the ability to target up to 4 things, and your targets, your active targets, occur up here. So I've clicked on Biomate, I've clicked on Proctors, I've clicked on the public energy generator, and now this adamantine, this ore. So we're just going to unlock those targets for now. The autopilot we can turn on and off. We have auto target, which I really haven't figured out what that does yet. Auto dock means when you get close to a space station, you will automatically dock. Auto warp, I guess, means when you get close to a jump gate, you will automatically warp, as advertised. Passive scan and tactical sensors. These are interesting. When you turn on the auto passive scan, when you get near something, I believe it decides it's going to lock on to something, and it's going to, yep, see right here, it's going to send out a ping to kind of give you an idea of the closest things that it finds. So this is a good way to find out what the hell is close to me. It's a little difficult when you're looking at this perspective because it's, you know, is this rock closer than this rock? We don't know. But it's really convenient because we're going to turn off the passive scan. We're going to close that one, and we're going to find that this rock of adamite ore is 1,123.8 meters. So in order to go there with autopilot, we're just going to double click. Our ship's going to turn around, and we're going to head to this big ass rock that's right here. Hi. That's like turning around and finding this thing is looming at you. So we know that this is adamite ore, and let's go ahead and let's start mining. Just to mine. So we're going to click on these guys in order to activate them, and we will see our beams shooting out into the rock. Really nice effect. That's kind of cool. So we can zoom in all the way, actually, to the point where we have the cockpit view, which is kind of nice. We don't have any heads up or anything like that, so it's not like we're really in the cockpit. It just gives you a first-person view. We can also zoom all the way out, and if we zoom all the way out, we get to our star map, which is kind of cool. However, at the furthest zoom out, we do get a better sense of where we are and where everything is in relation to us. Now, we've already looked at the passive scan, but the tactical sensors, or active scan, I guess, you can activate by pressing spacebar. This gives you kind of a grid-based view of where everything is, so you can actually kind of get a sense of how far or how near things are. It also kind of gives you an X-ray view, so you can see things that are further away from you, which might be occluded by another object. Aside from this, I'm not really sure what this does. This is what they tell you to use during the tutorials when they're trying to get you to blow things up. It does show you what you're currently targeting, though, with this line here. We seem to have filled up our hold with a minimal amount of ore, so that's pretty much all we can do with that. So let's see, that's Proctor Center, this is Biomate University. Let's go over there, because that's where we are. That's where I'm considering my home base to be. We're going to target the ore and the Proctor Center, and we're going to engage our afterburners by pressing the shift key if we want to shift and hold, or the caps lock key if we want to leave it on. So basically that's pretty much all we have going on here with this game. Right now it's more or less flavors of what we've been doing, traveling from place to place, scanning things. We can either mine, we can take a mission to blow people up, or scan people. They've got escort missions. I'm not sure what other types of missions they offer. We have the ability to do free trading. We can turn our mining ore into raw materials. We can buy blueprints or find blueprints. We can build things for ourselves or for sale. We can upgrade our ships, buy new ships. We got to be concerned with things like ammo and also life support, which is unique to this particular game. So again, this is currently on sale on Steam for $15. As of the recording of this video, this game is in early access. So if you are interested in playing a completely solo version of the core game of EVE Online, then check it out. Again, it does not have a lot of the super advanced features that EVE offers, such as planetary interaction, wormholes, or scanning. However, you can build a base, which is kind of cool, and you can run your own fleet of NPCs. So that's it. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you around.